And joining me now on Skype with her analysis of today's decision is Amy Howe, co-founder of SCOTUS blog. Amy, welcome back. Good to see you again.
Thanks for having me.
Amy, can you break down for us the basis for today's court ruling?
Sure. So by a vote of 5-4, the Supreme Court said there's not really any dispute among the parties to this case, the federal government on the one hand and then the challengers on the other hand, that the federal government, the Trump administration, could decide to end the program known as DACA. And the question before the Supreme Court was whether or not they went about it the right way. And the answer today from 5 justices, the Chief Justice John Roberts, and the court's former liberal justices, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Stephen Breyer, Sonia Sotomayor, and Elena Kagan, was that the Trump administration had not. The Supreme Court said there's a pretty low bar when we're looking at something that a federal agency like the Department of Homeland Security has done, but they haven't met this bar. They said the Trump administration said that it wanted to end DACA because it believed that the program was illegal, because it gave the DACA recipient benefits like the right to work in the country legally, the right to access Medicare or have Social Security, but it didn't look at other factors. It didn't consider other factors like whether or not it could still allow them to remain in the country, which was a central part of the DACA program, and whether or not the DACA recipients had relied on the DACA program when deciding whether or not to end the program. And so, in essence, it sent the dispute, the question about terminating DACA, back to the Department of Homeland Security for a do-over.
Yeah, Amy, Justice Clarence Thomas said in his dissent, the majority's ruling must be recognized for what it is and an effort to avoid politically controversial but legally correct decision. What are your thoughts on that?
So Clarence Thomas, in a dissenting opinion, mostly dissenting opinion, that was joined by Justice Samuel Alito and Justice Neil Gorsuch, said the decision to implement DACA was illegal, and an agency doesn't really need to explain itself at all if it is undoing an illegal agency action. That should be enough in and of itself.
Chief Justice Roberts talked in the past about his desire to keep the Supreme Court from appearing political, and he's receiving a lot of criticism, that is, for siding with the liberal justices. What do you think about that?
So this decision actually reminded me a lot of the decision involving the census just around this time last year, when the Chief Justice joined, again, the court's former liberal justices in holding that the Trump administration couldn't include a question about citizenship on the 2020 census. And in that case, the Supreme Court said it's not that they can't include the question, but they didn't go about it in the right way. And so, the Chief Justice wasn't necessarily telling the Trump administration that it couldn't do something, but he was telling them that they really needed to cross their T's and dot their I's and how they went about it. So I think some people obviously view that as sort of a political decision to reach a result that many conservatives sharply disagree with.
Amy, before we let you go, we still have some more decisions ahead. What are you watching out for from the court right now?
Sure. We've had 2 major decisions from the Supreme Court this week, but we still have several more to come, including a decision involving a challenge to a Louisiana abortion law. We have a pair of decisions involving efforts by Congress and a New York district attorney to get access to the president's financial records. We have a decision involving the Electoral College and a decision involving sort of the constitutionality of how the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is structured. So there's also a decision involving school choice for religious schools in Montana. So we've had 2 big decisions this week, but there's still a fair amount left to come over the next couple of weeks.
Well, Amy, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate your analysis. Amy Howe, co-founder of SCOTUS blog. Thank you again, Amy.
Thanks for having me.